two of China's biggest stars in the entertainment industry, Su Kai and Songyun, who were supposed to be flying to their international flight, were caught in a situation that sent everyone around them into a panic. Within minutes, their seemingly ordinary trip turned into a mysterious mess. And it all started with one simple missing item: a passport. That morning at Beijing Capital International Airport was going like any other day. Airport staff were busy guiding passengers, suitcases rolled along conveyors, and fans who happened to be there caught a glimpse of the two famous actors walking toward the check-in area. For many, it was just a fleeting moment to see celebrities pass by. But no one expected that just a few minutes later, the relaxed atmosphere would turn tense. According to eyewitnesses nearby, Su Kai and Songyun's management team was seen checking their travel documents before heading to the departure gate. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until Su Kai suddenly stopped, looking confused. He checked his bag once more, then again. His facial expression changed from relaxed to serious in a matter of seconds. At first, those around him thought it was just a minor mistake, perhaps a forgotten ticket or a cell phone tucked into a bag. But the situation quickly changed when Su Kai informed his team that his passport was missing. That simple statement seemed to trigger a domino effect that sent the entire group into full swing. Songyun, who was beside him, initially appeared to be trying to remain calm. But when the initial search proved fruitless, anxiety began to show on her face. She joined in and checked Su Kai's bag, small suitcase, and even his jacket pockets. Each second grew increasingly tense. Airport staff, realizing the situation, immediately tried to help. Several security officers also checked the area around the check-in desk. But as time passed, it became clear that the passport was truly missing. And for someone about to travel internationally, that was no small matter. Boarding time drew near. Announcements for their flight began to blare over the loudspeakers. Other passengers slowly began to line up for the gate, while Su Kai's team remained locked in an increasingly frantic search. According to an insider at the scene, Su Kai appeared extremely frustrated. He kept trying to remember when he had last held the passport. Was it in the car? Was it during security? Or perhaps she left it at the hotel before leaving for the airport. Meanwhile, Songyun was seen pacing back and forth with an anxious expression. Some witnesses even said she repeatedly asked airport staff if any documents had been found in the area. Her tone of voice grew increasingly frantic as time went on. The situation naturally caught the attention of bystanders. Some passengers began whispering to each other, realizing that two high-profile figures were facing a serious problem right in front of them. However, the management team tried to keep the situation under control to prevent a major commotion. Meanwhile, airline staff began issuing final boarding warnings. Without a passport, Su Kai would obviously not be allowed to board. This meant one thing was inevitable: their flight would have to be canceled. The decision came like a devastating blow to the entire team. The international schedule, which had been planned long ago, was suddenly thrown into disarray. Coordination with production crews, business meetings, even promotional events, all were in danger of being delayed. Making the situation even more confusing was the fact that the passport had seemingly vanished without a trace. No one remembered seeing it fall. No staff reported finding it. And as far as the team knew, Su Kai was still holding it when he left the hotel. Speculation began to swirl among staff and entertainment industry insiders. Had the passport been left in the vehicle? Had it fallen out of the car without their knowledge? Or was there some other, more mysterious possibility? Amidst all the questions, Songyun remained by Su Kai's side. Despite her apparent panic, she continued to try to calm the situation and help find a solution. Some staff members even said they had tried contacting various parties to find out if the document might have been found at airport security. But time was not on their side. The boarding gate finally closed, and the plane they were supposed to board prepared to take off without the two superstars. For fans who later heard the news, the story felt like a scene from a real-life drama. How could something as seemingly simple as a lost passport ruin an entire trip? However, those on the scene said one thing was clear: the incident was completely real. There were no cameras, no script, just a sudden situation that took everyone by surprise. To this day, the biggest question remains unanswered. Where exactly did Soo Kai's passport disappear to? Was it eventually found after the flight was cancelled? Or does it remain an unsolved mystery? What's certain is that the brief incident at the airport has become a hot topic among fans and the entertainment industry alike. It's a reminder that even for big stars like Soo Kai and Songyun, one small incident can change big plans in an instant. And perhaps, beneath all the panic and chaos, there's another story yet to be fully revealed. One that leaves many wondering what really happened during those tense hours at Beijing airport that day. But the story doesn't end there. After the plane they were supposed to board took off without them, the atmosphere in the departure area became quieter, but still filled with tension. The management team began planning their next steps, while Soo Kai sat for a moment on a chair in the waiting area, trying to gather his thoughts. Losing a passport at such a critical moment wasn't just about the document. It meant their entire travel plans would be put on hold. Meanwhile, Songyun was still talking to several airport staff near the information desk. She seemed to be trying to determine once again whether the passport had been found by security or another passenger. Her tone was hopeful, though her exhaustion was evident. Several airport staff then suggested rechecking the security checkpoint and the path they had just passed through. Thus began a second, more thorough search. They retraced the previous passages, inspected the waiting area chairs, and even questioned the cleaning staff working nearby. At Beijing Capital International Airport, such incidents are rare for major celebrities, who are usually accompanied by a full team. Therefore, several airport staff stepped in with increased vigilance. They even began checking security cameras to see if there was any chance the document might have fallen unnoticed. But each passing minute only added to the frustration. The initial footage showed nothing suspicious. Soo Kai was seen walking normally with his team, holding his document bag as usual. There was no obvious moment when the passport fell out. Amidst the exhausting search, Soo Kai finally stood up and went through his belongings for the third time. He opened every compartment of his bag, checked his wallet, and even reorganized all the remaining documents. Everyone hoped for the remote possibility that the passport had simply slipped somewhere unexpected. But those hopes were dashed again. The passport was nowhere to be found. Some team members began discussing the worst-case scenario, that the document might have been left in the vehicle that took them to the airport or even still in their hotel room. Hearing this possibility, the atmosphere turned tense again. If the passport had indeed been left far from the airport, then their international trip would be impossible that day. All their planned schedules would have to be rearranged from scratch. Despite the chaos, one thing remained clear to those who witnessed the incident. The two actors were trying to approach the situation as calmly as possible. Despite the panic and confusion, they were still trying to think rationally to find a solution. But as night fell, the mystery of Soo Kai's missing passport still hung in the air, a small incident that turned into a real drama amidst the hustle and bustle of the international airport.